Hi guys, okay, so I've got a big new project to tell you about, and it's very close to home, this one, so we're going to go for a walk and I'm going to tell you all about it. And it is so hot at the moment, I am going to need my summer hat. Right, okay, let's do this. So as many of you know, I live in Ely and I've lived here now for nearly 3 years. I moved here in 2016, a few months before I started the vlog. If you don't know where it is, then I can pop up a map actually. It's just north of Cambridge, which is just north of London, about an hour and 50 minutes away from London on the train. And one of the most wonderful things of all about Ely is its incredible and enormous medieval cathedral, which is right here. Let's go up and take a look. I'm not going to give you a full history lesson, but it was founded in 673, which I'm going to come back to because it's important for this project. But what's special about this building is not only that the physical building is incredibly beautiful, but also that the people who work there and the things that the cathedral does are also absolutely incredible, I think. And regardless of whether you're a Christian or a churchgoer, I mean, aside from all the church services they do, there's a huge number of musical activities there and artistic, cultural activities. I see they have cathedral cows as well. It's been very hot recently, so I think the cathedral cows might be chilling out at the moment. Anyway, as I got to know people at the cathedral a little bit, we started talking about doing a project together. And this is the project which we have now announced, which I'm thrilled to tell you a bit about, because I think for you guys on the vlog, it's going to be really interesting for you, hopefully, to watch over the course of the next year. It's going to be performed in June 2020, so just over a year away. And it is quite a weird piece, so I want to tell you about it today. They're mowing the lawn. So please excuse the lawnmower noises. I think it's going to be an interesting piece for you guys to follow on the vlog, because there's lots of different parts to it, and I wanted to explain a little bit today what some of the parts involve. The main concept of the piece really, in terms of what it does and who it's for, is that it will give a large number of kids from the Cambridgeshire Ely community a chance to sing in this incredible cathedral alongside cathedral musicians. So the concept is quite, sorry, it's a bit noisy, isn't it, with the lawnmower chap. Now, because it's such an enormous cathedral, there's not really a very big limit on how many children we can have in the cathedral. So we have about 250 school kids from different schools around Ely and the surrounding area. None of them are going to have specialist musical training particularly, but they will, during the course of the year, learn this piece, and they will come in and perform it on the day in June with the Ely Cathedral boy choristers, girl choristers, and cathedral musicians. So what is this piece? Well, it's not just musical. There are 3 elements to this piece. There is music, and there is theatre, or drama, and there is also liturgy, which is a fancy word, if you don't know it, for church services. Okay, so music, drama, and liturgy. And they all overlap in this piece. So if you think there are areas in life where 2 of those maybe overlap, like music and drama, we're used to musicals and opera. There are plenty of examples we know of music and drama overlapping. Music and church services obviously overlap as well. If you've ever been to an Anglican evensong service, for example, there's so much music in that in a sense it's very hard to separate out the music and the liturgy. So again, music and liturgy often overlap. Drama and liturgy can overlap as well. If you've ever been to a big church service, Catholic or High Anglican maybe, in a large cathedral, it can be incredibly theatrical. It can involve a large number of people, a lot of movement and different texts, different uses of the space. All the sights and sounds of a big church service can be quite theatrical in many ways. So the idea of this piece was to do something which involved all 3. Music, drama and liturgy together. And it's going to be composed all the way through by me, and I'm going to be writing music and words and the story to it. but it is also going to have a liturgical element. So it's going to have clergy and altar servers in it, and it's going to be a little bit like a church service, but a composed church service, a composed liturgy. And that's what I'm calling it, a composed liturgy. Right, so here we are by the cathedral. I'll walk around the cathedral and tell you a little bit more about this. So what is the story then, if it's going to be drama? Well, the story is going to go back to the origins of the cathedral. In 673, as I mentioned, it was founded by St Ethelreda, who is a very important local saint in these parts, shrine still in the cathedral. She founded Ely Cathedral, or as it was then, an abbey. And one of the things I thought was really interesting about St Ethelreda's Anglo-Saxon abbey in the 7th century was that it was men and women living together, praying the divine office, living in a monastic community. We think of monastic communities often as being single-sex, right? Monks, nuns, but not together. Well, interesting thing about the Anglo-Saxons is that they did have these mixed religious communities. So that got me thinking quite a bit for this project. And I also got thinking about the fact that in 870, the abbey, the original abbey, was destroyed by the Vikings. So here we are at the east end of the cathedral. If you keep heading east, you will eventually get to the sea, and if you keep heading that way, you will get to Denmark, and that is where the invasion came from in 870. So the Danes had been invading parts of eastern England for quite some time by this point. I think in the winter of 869, they wintered in Thetford, which is a town, if you keep going east from here, I think it's just over the border into Suffolk. The Danes wintered in 869 there, and then in 870 they came over to Ely, and we have a very vivid but not necessarily reliable account of the destruction of the abbey in a medieval text. Let's keep walking around and I will keep telling you about the piece. So who's going to be in the piece? Well, it is going to be the Ely Cathedral boy choristers and the girl choristers and the Ely Cathedral organ, and it is also going to have 250 schoolchildren from Ely and the Cambridgeshire area. But that's not all. It's also going to have the wonderful Britten Sinfonia involved in it as well. They are one of the leading professional chamber orchestras of the country. They are based over in Cambridge, which is not very far away. So again, it's kind of a nice local project. It's not going to be the whole Britten Sinfonia, but it's going to be some musicians from them. And I think it'll be wonderful for these kids who are not used to music and not used to coming to the cathedral to perform alongside not only some, very, very high standard choral and church musicians, but also some professional orchestral musicians as well. So the piece is very much designed specifically for Ely Cathedral, designed for the space here, designed for the musicians here, designed to use different parts of the space in the performance. So really looking forward to doing this with all the primary schools involved. We have quite a few primary schools already signed up, and one secondary school, the wonderful Ely College, which is secondary school here in Ely. So it's going to be a huge amount of fun. The children are going to be learning about medieval music. I'm going to be going into the schools and they're going to learn a little bit about plain chant and medieval music, which is such a weird and wonderful and very strange kind of music compared to what we're all used to, because it's so incredibly old and no one really quite knows how it's meant to be sung. So we're also going to be learning about Ely Cathedral's history, about the Anglo-Saxons, about the people who were here and created the first abbey before it was destroyed by the Vikings. Lots of stuff to learn, lots of stuff to enjoy, hopefully. And then the piece is going to be performed on the 22nd of June 2020. Right, okay. Now, I need to wrap this up and get started working on this piece. Just to explain about the vlog, there's going to be one more vlog next week to finish off the vlogs about the German School London project. Then the vlog's going to take a little bit of a break over August, so I need to really crack on with this piece of the cathedral, and I'm going to pause the vlog. I'll be back in September, but have a great summer and I will see you soon.